again. We're all right again. All these soft, sweet dreams are coming true.
Boom, boom. Hey guys, it's Alex and Emily again, coming at you in a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife. Today we're going to be talking about 1980s He Knows You're Alone. As always, Emily has the original and priceless VHS copy. So let's hear what the back of that box says, Emily.
Okay. It starts out saying good and terrifying, a first-rate shocker. Well, we'll be going into all that, but here's one film you definitely shouldn't watch alone. Filled with suspense and more than a few hair-raising twists, He Knows You're Alone is a tour de force of sheer terror, a chilling experience. Filmed with an unerring instinct for the truly terrifying, He Knows You're Alone takes a unique, original approach to its story, using the most comfortably familiar and friendly places as the setting for its ominous, nerve-wracking plot, and in the process creates a macabre tale packed with shocks galore. Set in a small New York suburb, the story centers on a young bride-to-be who becomes convinced that someone is watching and following her. Repeatedly, she catches a glimpse of a tall, gaunt figure carrying a butcher's knife, but her friends assume she is merely suffering from a case of prenuptial jitters, until, one by one, they discover the grisly truth for themselves. Capped by a breathless chase and a truly shocking last-minute surprise, He Knows You're Alone is one of those rare quality horror films, which really delivers. Just one last word of caution. Be prepared for the unexpected. You'll never guess what's waiting just around the corner. 1980. Your thoughts?
So I remember watching this in high school and having a good enough time with it. But, revisiting this almost 20 years later or so, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess that's just whatever. So on the surface, there's like everything going right for this movie. It's got it has a decent plot, I thought. It doesn't have any over-the-top horrible...
I have a lot of issues with the plot, but go on.
Yeah, it doesn't have any like over-the-top horrible actors per se that we see in a lot of these slashers. The dialogue works for me. The music is insatiable. I can go on. It's been called a total ripoff of Halloween at parts. So, that all makes sense. But for me, that should have worked, but something about it just doesn't. Like, while all the elements are there, I just found myself bored. Like really, really bored. And to add to that, they weren't bad actors, like I said, but like none of the characters were likable at all. They just annoyed the hell out of me. And I think this movie should have been called He Knows You're Bored as Hell and Will Die an Unwed Virgin. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to give it, I'm torn between 1.5 and 2 stars. What about you?
Well, that was fast. I don't even know. I think I would give it a star just only because of I think the production quality is there. Mm-hmm. Although I've read some people say that they don't think it is, and I'm like, well, then you haven't watched the shit I've watched. If you think that this is poor production quality, like, you've never seen like Last Slumber Party or a number of movies that are actually more entertaining. But
you know what else with lower production and probably more entertaining would be Tanya Harding's honeymoon video.
True. Facts. So I think the reason I remembered liking this movie is only because of the song that's in it. The Vinnie Canali, It's the Night Again, which I was singing at the beginning, mm-hmm. and will play for you at the end. It's a total 70s, even though it came out in 1980, the movie, it's a 70s soft rock banger is what it is. And
banger.
We all know, well, not everyone knows, Alex and I love 70s soft rock. So,
well, in high school, we were going to become the 70s soft rock bandits and ride around on our bicycles and listen to 70s soft rock music.
Even though I didn't have a bicycle, but
and commit crimes.
I didn't have a bicycle, and we had cars, but that's
whatever. We would have made
that was the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I just realized I didn't really think it through because I didn't have a bike.
So then we went to college and got lives. We could have had a different turnout.
Oh, it could have been so much better for us. But okay, I had so many issues with this movie. For one, I don't think it works that it's I guess one of the reasons I really don't like it is because it is such a straight up Halloween ripoff, and I don't like Halloween. So
Yeah,
I like the movies that Halloween. Well, and you know what? Whatever. I'm not even calling Halloween the first slasher because it's not, but it is one of the first with like the mask. Michael Myers started the whole mask killer kind of franchise horror movie craze. Um, but I don't like. I think it's poorly paced. I think it's slow as hell, and I would probably say it's just a little bit less slow than He Knows You're Alone. But you know what? I think I would rather watch He Knows You're Alone only for the song.
Well, I also so when rewatching this, the opening scene when first of
Oh,
all,
okay. Russell Todd should have been in the whole movie. Hey,
dreamy,
Russell. Hey, Russell.
dreamy,
Hope you're
yeah.
listening because you should have been in the whole movie. It would have been way better if you were in the whole movie because it's a movie within a movie and it starts out well.
So dreamy eyes Russell Todd's over here getting his groove on in the back of that car. And then I was like, okay. And then, it kind of got a little creepy right there. It was a pretty cool opening scene. And the fact then that when they pan out and it's in a movie within a movie, that was pretty, like, that's been overdone at this point. But in
It hadn't been
1980,
done.
yeah,
It hadn't been
1980, that was pretty cool, I thought. And I thought, okay, yeah. So then the girl watching the movie goes to the bathroom.
Meme off face. That's what I called her.
Meme off face goes to the bathroom. It's scary. It's creepy. And she's trying to talk to people while she pees because that's what you do. And
She's scared in the bathroom because she hears footsteps in the bathroom. Like it's a public place.
Exactly. So she goes back to her seat and gets killed by somebody behind her. And like Scream 2 totally ripped this whole opening off.
Totally. But
Like
and
100%.
see that whole beginning though, that had me hooked. I was like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I know that the director of this movie, and I can never say his name. It's
Armand
Mastery. I said it when I interviewed Russell Todd, and he was like, "That's right," but who knows? He might have just been being nice because
Armand Mastriani. I don't know.
Armand Mastriani. Originally he had gone to I think MGM put this out. So whoever wanted to put it out, it was some pretty big people, and they were like, "Hey, give us an idea for a movie." And his original idea was what became the movie within the movie. And
Gotcha.
I think that I know the hook urban legend has been overdone, but I mean it hadn't at that point, and I don't really think it could ever be overdone. It's an urban legend, and
Right.
I've never really seen it in a movie besides the movie Urban Legend where it's like the whole movie
I think
story.
There was a piece. It's not really the hook per se, but there is a scene I think about a guy hanging upside down over his car. It's also in Campfire Tales, isn't he? Hanging over his RV?
Yeah. But that's also because it's an urban legend. I meant
True.
like I would like to see like an entire movie based on just that story. You know what I mean? Like that could have been a cool movie. The movie that's within the movie. Maybe it would have gotten old, but I mean, we don't know because we didn't get to watch it. So. God, he's so much better looking than everyone else in that movie. Okay, so.
Oh, and I've decided too that whenever Russell Todd is auditioning for a role, whenever he picks up the phone and they're like, "Hey,
can you hang upside down?"
Can you hang upside down? And he must do the exact same thing that Danny DeVito does every time Tim Burton calls him. He grabs his top hat and runs to the studio to audition because that's like, hello.
Oh, he said this was his first movie, and. God, he's such a dream. I hope you're listening, Russell. But he said this was his first movie, and it was just by chance that he did that in Friday the 13th. That was his death. I don't think they had seen this movie.
Yeah,
and it was just, which is pretty cool. And then he was in Chopping Mall and whatever. But I really wish he had been in this movie more. And in my mind, from when I watched it, like whenever I watched it for the first or second time. In my head, I thought he played the character. I haven't thought this for a long time, but for a long time, I thought he played the character of her like boyfriend or her fiance.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah, because they kind of look alike. He's like a bootleg version of Russell Todd. Like he's a Bobo Russell Todd.
He's a Bobo.
But okay, so we get to the movie where we have after this girl dies, we have the principal from Breakfast Club. I refuse to name whatever. I don't know what his real name is. I'm going to refer to him as the principal from Breakfast Club for the rest of the podcast.
You could just call him Paul. You could just call him Paul Gleason.
No. I don't care that much. So he
or
calls.
Richard Vernon.
No.
That's his name. That's his name.
I know it's his name, and that Dick. I wasn't calling you Dick. I was saying,
God.
Okay. So, can I call you Dick? So he calls who by far is the worst actor in the movie, and I don't think the actors are bad, but the detective is not the greatest actor.
Oh my God, it's awful.
So he calls him because he's like, I guess he thinks this guy's back. But as soon as the guy gets there, it's like, why'd you get me out of bed for this? He's like, it's someone that's about to get married. And he's like, he's back. And he's like, now don't jump to conclusions. I'm like, isn't that why you fucking got him out of bed?
Exactly.
Like,
it's
why now? Why are you trying to calm him down?
It's like they're totally flipping this around. Like they're trying to make it like he's the Dr. Loomis basically character.
Yes,
and
totally.
link him to this bride killer because, as it turns out, which I guess it's a flashback, but
it is a flashback. But it's very unless you knew that is it's a very hard. You have to assume it because
the killer,
it doesn't say it out loud.
So the killer ends up killing his bride years and years and years prior, and
and then there had been bodies since maybe before and since, but I know like it had always been brides to be. Whereas where we get into the real issue,
exactly, it's like, so you made some sort of a ritual to kill brides and everyone they surround themselves with. Like, get over it. Take a chill lozenge and move on with your life.
And so I'm assuming again from another flashback, or are we? Is it the same flashback that we're supposed to assume that the guy killed her because she was supposed to marry him and she was marrying the detective, or was that the same flashback?
Yes.
That is way too much to have your audience assume. And I'm not sitting here being like, we're idiots or anything like that, but there was not a lot of context there. And to be quite honest, I feel like it's I don't think you don't need to dumb me down, but I don't watch these horror movies for Inception or anything like that. So just say that's what's going on, because you're supposed to just assume it. And it's like, well, that's a stretch.
It really is. Like, there's no connecting her to the detective at first. Like, you're really confused. So
and then you have to have that throwaway scene, which I thought was hilarious, where Principal from Breakfast Club is talking to another detective, and that's the only way we get the backstory, because he's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't hear about this? Oh no, you wouldn't. You're new." So he tells the whole story, and it's like, okay,
you're new.
All right. And the way he tells it is that he doesn't say if that was the first murder, but he acts like there have been murders since then, and maybe before. He doesn't really say.
Right.
But it's always been brides to be. So now, and it doesn't tell how long it's been since the detective was going to marry this girl. It's just, he's back. After how long? I don't know. Has it been 2 years? I mean, it's because it's almost like you're supposed to see the detective as like the guy that let the case get to him too much, and now he's an alcoholic, yet he has none of those characteristics. Yeah, he just got caught out of bed.
He's totally not fleshed out enough, and they try to make us make all these connections, and they never execute any of them
all of those
fruition.
Things I thought, all those things I thought about him were complete assumptions. I'm like, well, maybe this. I mean, I think the Principal from the Breakfast Club does allude to the fact that this kind of ruined him, but it doesn't go into now he has all these issues. He doesn't work anymore, or anything like that.
Right.
But but for him to be called in the middle of the night, I mean, detectives, at least according to SVU and Law and Order, they get called in the middle of the night all the time. So I don't know why he was have such a piss poor attitude about it. But and then he gets yelled at for assuming that it's the guy when Principal from Breakfast Club said it was the guy.
Preach.
I mean, or he didn't say it, but he was like, "That's why I called you." But whatever. That's not even the least of my worries with this fucking plot. So, okay. So the main issue I have is, he kills brides to be. So why in the ever living fuck does he start killing literally everyone around her? And it doesn't, I don't know a lot about this killer, and that's because no characters are fleshed out at all. even the ones that are supposed to be like Marvin and Amy, like they're not fleshed out at all. But like, okay, so I didn't think that I guess I was just assuming, but I assumed that he didn't seem to really stalk these brides to be. I mean, maybe he stalked them for one night, like he did the woman in the movie theater.
Yeah, because why wouldn't he have killed Amy when he had the chance,
chances.
when he was in there, when he killed poor little Ralph in the wedding shop,
Oh my gosh. The seamster, dressmaker.
He could have killed her then.
Yeah. Okay. That's where I start having the issues.
Yep.
We all know, not all of us, but a lot of people, there's a signature and there's a MO. And he does not follow either of those. And like I couldn't remember if it was signature or MO, but it's signature of like the type of people he kills. And that guy just immediately just strays away from his signature. That doesn't make any sense. That would never make any sense. And I mean, I know you're not supposed to really be thinking about the things making sense, but I don't know if I've seen a movie where it has this is the theme of the movie, that the guy kills these people and it just completely strays from it and doesn't give a shit.
I will say my first like instant connection to like a movie where that's happened, I would say in Johnny Galecki's character Max, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. What's the hell? Why was he killed?
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long that
like he was just killed in the middle of his like little.
Well,
it happens, but
I mean it does, but not
in this movie. Everybody that's killed no one makes sense.
But
if
there's
he's a bride
no
killer, then why if he's a bride killer?
That's
why
what I'm
killing
saying.
everybody else?
It's a theme. And I know What You Did Last Summer. There's always people that get killed and you don't understand why. But like in a movie where it's these people get killed, then it's like, what? Then why are all these other people getting killed? Because he never did that before. As far as we know, he didn't ever stalk people it had to have been days because her parents like are gone and it goes over several days.
Right.
So he kills the seamster when he could have just killed her like right after that. He stalks her. I mean, there are some pretty cool scenes like where he's like standing behind her when she's watching herself in the TV. That was creepy. Mm-hmm. And then when he's like at the pizza parlor and he's standing outside of there, not the pizza parlor, the ice cream parlor.
Ice cream.
That part's creepy. But then he goes on to go to he doesn't even stay where she is. He goes to how did he know where that professor lived? He goes to that professor's house and kills him and her friend.
Joyce.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? They're not even hanging out with this girl.
Right.
And like there are so many opportunities to just kill Amy because no one believes her. And for someone that's being stalked, she sure as shit goes around by herself a lot.
Well, she has to go around by herself and find people to, woe is me, I'm nervous about my wedding. Oh, God.
One thing I did write down is, remember Kicking Leaves?
Oh, my God. This was the movie, the Kicking Leaves movie.
This is the Kicking Leaves. I don't know if is it the Kicking Leaves movie or that we were thinking about, or is it just, because she literally does kick. She walks around kicking leaves like she's woe is me. And I'm like, bitch, you have a hot guy that is, you don't know he's like, going for that's a weird side story too. He's going with a Boy Scout troop for his bachelor party and picking up women on the way with like children. No,
they're gonna have blindfolded circle jerks.
So
it's weird.
So you've got this hot boyfriend that you don't know is an asshole. I mean, I guess she kind of did, but she's still marrying him because Marvin is all up in her snatch and she doesn't care.
Well, Marvin Marvin might be a rapist. He's so pushy. I think he's trying to be nice.
Marvin's definitely a peeping Tom. And can we please stop talking? Can we please stop with the fucking dead people jokes?
We get it. We get it. You work in a morgue. We get it.
Ha. Well, she thinks it's funny though. Anyway, she's an idiot. But so she's woe is me kicking leaves, and then she might as well be kicking leaves throughout the rest of the movie, even though they're not there. That's how she walks around. She walks around like she's fucking kicking leaves everywhere. Like, oh my life, I'm I'm in college, but I'm never going to class. No one ever goes to class. I live in this house with my parents.
Yeah.
What, I like this Amityville horror house, and I take care of my sister and my stupid friend Nancy that can't decide if she's a prude. What are these characters? Like, at least Joyce knew who she was. Nancy's like, I don't know. I'm insecure. I don't know about myself. And then she's all, okay, Tom Hanks, I'm going home with you. And then, okay, I'm going to smoke weed, which, I mean, smoking weed isn't like, oh my God. But for the way she acts at the beginning of the movie, it just didn't make sense for her to be like, and now I drink and I do drugs and I go have sex with this jogger I found in the park. I don't know.
Exactly.
But anyway, I mean, like, why is this guy killing all these people? Like, and also, by the way, Joyce was in the fucking morgue, and Marvin never tells Amy. Joyce had to have been in the morgue for they see her in the morgue. She had to have been in there for like a day and a half.
Yeah, they're weird with each other. I don't like how he acts around her and she him, or vice versa. Like, and also, is it normal to invite prior relationships to your own wedding?
I mean, I guess if you had if you were to have a good relationship with them, it was like amicable. Like, I can think of one boyfriend, if I got married, like, I would invite him because we're still friends. But like, not one that's like still after me. And that whole backstory of he only he went away for like a month or something, and then she started dating Phil.
Yeah.
Or something like. And I used to think, oh, I want them to get together. Now I'm like, ooh, he's a peeping Tom. Talk about stalking her. And then when she sees the guy outside, when he brings the goldfish over and he's like, I told you I'd always bring you a goldfish. And she was like, she says it at the same time as him. And they're like, ha ha. And she's like, you're so dumb, Marvin. And I was like, no, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah. I don't understand why she's like really trolling all over town with Marvin, who's again creepiest person ever, and whatever. I just
get your life. You're still in love with him. Just date him. Like, why are you? And you clearly do not want to get married. You have gone to every single person that you know, and said you don't want to get married.
Exactly.
So do it. Just don't get. What are you doing? And then when she looks outside when he brings the goldfish, and it's that complete rip-off of Halloween, and he's standing outside.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if there are clotheslines there, but it looks like there should be because it's the exact same scene.
Yeah.
And she turns around and says, like, there's someone out there, and he's like, there's no one out there. And I was like, well, in fact, there was that guy out there, and then there was a lady with a dog out there, but okay, Marvin. But he's like, why would anyone want to follow you? And I was like, I don't know. Why don't you ask your fucking self that? You follow her around freaking everywhere. You followed her to the ice cream parlor. You followed her to her dress fitting. Like, talk about stalker.
I wonder if they want us to think he's the killer. I don't really remember.
No way. He's too nice. You like.
He works in a morgue, though. I mean,
but you totally want to root for them.
No, you don't. I didn't.
Well, I didn't this time, but you can tell it's set up like that.
Well, I mean, I wanted to root for Sidney Prescott and Billy Loomis too, but you saw how that happened.
She still fucked him.
Well, yeah, because we were rooting for him.
But I still root for him.
I do too. Every dream I have. Okay.
Ulrich forever.
So later on, though, we get to the only good thing to come out of this movie is the debut of Tom Hanks at the little carnival.
I thought you meant the song in the movie. Sorry.
Oh well, no. The
Tom Hanks being a ridiculous human being talking about fear. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But then at this theme park, they had this roller coaster ride, which it was kind of cool. I would ride that.
I liked that. I did not enjoy that they called it an amusement park, acting like it was Dollywood or something when it was clearly a shitty carnival.
Yeah.
But that ride was pretty cool. And
that was a cool ride.
Superimpose like the guy, like the killer, because he is menacing and creepy.
Yeah, totally. And it was a good place for her to kind of have those second guesses or whatever she was having. And then again, it was a pretty cool roller coaster or whatever it was, a little tour ride. It was better.
It was more like blazing, not Blazing Fury at Dollywood. It was more like that ride that got shut down to build that other ride. What was it with the mine? It was the flooded mine
I don't know. I mean, it was better than that, and it was definitely better than Captain Spaulding's world famous murder ride in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh God, anything's better than anything Rob Zombie did.
Oh, no, I love that one, but the ride sucked.
I liked Devil's Rejects, and that's it.
Oh yeah. Well, the ride, Captain Spaulding's world famous murder ride, was not as good as this murder ride.
It was definitely a hell ride.
It was a hell ride.
Like Wesley Willis used to say about stuff.
We will not be discussing any Wesley Willis on this episode.
Well, he would call things hell rides.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, look him up and listen to his music. That's all I got to say. He's from 30 years ago. Oh.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's something.
Sorry, I don't know.
Back to the movie.
Oh, he also had a callus on his forehead from when he would greet people by headbutting them.
Yeah, back to the movie. So, what else do you think here that either you liked or didn't like, or we want to start talking about some of these deaths?
Well, I mean, Tom Hanks was cute enough in it. I know a lot of people were like, I heard I listened to an interview of the main girl that plays Amy, who is also, by the way, in Savage Weekend, which is one of the worst movies that's in existence. It's so bad, like it's hard to like even watch because even the quality is bad. But anyway, she was talking about how she learned so much from being on set with Tom Hanks. Okay, A, that was his first role. B, the script was whatever he was talking about was bullshit. And I mean, he's likable, but it's I don't care. I don't know. I like Tom Hanks fine, but I don't know what the big shit show is about him.
Well, not in this movie. He was in it for like
3
minutes.
I don't care about him that much.
Well, no, just that's just the point. He's one of the most prolific actors of our time, and this was his first movie.
He also has a sex ring. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! Bye.
I'm kidding. QAnon out of here. I don't care if y'all. QAnon is not welcome to listen to this.
Shit. Cannot.
Well, okay. Do you really want them to?
Bye. Next.
Don't act like you want QAnon.
No, bye. So we can now start talking about
bye.
The scene where Nancy has her headphones when it's the night again. That was a pretty cool little trippy scene with her getting high with the fish tank and just chilling out. I like
that. And I mean, I like the song, but I think that's a cool scene until you see her head, which is I didn't remember how bad that was.
After her throat gets slit and she gets her head dumped in the fish tank and cut off.
Yeah, it's the worst fake head I've ever seen. Like, they should have gotten Vivia from Killer Party to do it.
Oh my God, yeah, she would have done much better special effects.
Since she did them, so.
Totally. Or they could have just put a skull from freaking Marvin's morgue and they could have predicted. No, but we will be sharing the picture of this head because it's literally the most waterlogged, awful.
I've never seen a decapitated head in a movie that's been that bad in my life.
Ever.
Ever.
Like, it doesn't even look like the same person. Like, it looks like it looks more like Ozzy Osbourne.
It doesn't even, it looks like someone took it's just like a what is it called? Like the freezing rubber masks. That you put on. I don't know. It looked like it
cryogenic.
Yeah, it looked like a cryogenic like head with a shitty mask on top of it.
And the worst wig you've ever seen. It was horrible. And what's hilarious too is while she's floating in the water and everything's around her, she's got a trail of blood coming out of her nose down to her lip. But her eyes. We will be sharing this photo. It is outrageous. I'm
actually looking at it right now, and by the way, that those goldfish would be eating that.
Totes. I'd be hungry.
They wouldn't just be like floating around, being like, "Oh, we just got a new toy in our fish tank."
Yeah, like they've just been
since they're toys. But
they've just been breathing in weed smoke from her. They got the secondhand munchies.
Man, this is a bad head.
It's a bad head.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, so that is cool. And then before we go to the kills, let's talk about how remember how. Well, I don't know if this will come out before Sorority House Massacre comes out, which one will come out first. I'm assuming Sorority House Massacre, our podcast on that, will come out first. But do you recall how long that scene was at the end where they're struggling and the chase and everything?
Yes.
It's the longest, or I thought at the time, I was like, this is the longest thing I've ever watched in my life. And nope. Watch She Knows You're Alone.
Oh, the tunnel scene into the morgue and everything?
Even though I do like the setting of it. Like, I think the tunnel, it has really cool angles, and it's like I don't know, it's a cool, they've got some cool shots out of it, which goes back to me saying that, like, I think I give it stars for having production quality. I think the cinematography can be pretty cool, and like in Nancy's scene, like all that, I think it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But God, it lasts for, does it last for half the movie? And nothing happens?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at least like 43 minutes. I think
I had to like fast forward through some of it. I was just like, no, like I cannot deal with this anymore. Like, and then the detective shows up for what?
Just
nothing.
Yeah. So at this point, I was so bored, I even stopped taking notes.
And I did take notes, and then I lost them all. So
yeah, but I was like so just done with this. My husband was like playing a game on his phone or doing researching.
What did your husband think of it?
I'm surprised he didn't fall asleep in this movie.
Well, but you know what? He falls asleep at some movies that were like, why would you fall asleep? But then like this makes sense.
And he didn't.
Yeah. What's up with Jeff?
Yeah, he chose to just completely ignore the movie, I think. Which is a good move. Yeah,
and I remember it kind of being a chore. I did remember the last time I'd watched it just being like, it was one of those things, and I'm not comparing it to Night of the Demons at all, because Night of the Demons is way more fun than this movie.
Way more fun.
But it was one of those things where I remember being like, okay, I'm going to start this. I'm really excited to start this. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Now I remember what happens, except for like way worse.
All we really needed was to get an actual MP3 of that song, and we would have been fine.
Yeah, I honestly could have just read the plot on Wikipedia and I've been good.
I could have gone out to my own sidewalk and just kicked leaves and seen the movie.
Although when that happened, I was like kicking my feet in the air and like laughing so hard. I was like having a laughter temper tantrum. Because I was so excited about it.
So right now, I'm really just imagining you being like Corey Feldman in Friday the 13th Part 4 while he's watching them undress and have sex across the thing. And he's screaming and kicking. Oh my God.
That's exactly what I was doing. And I think I wanted to text you about it, but like I knew you were busy doing something, so I like couldn't text you. And so I just wrote it down on my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, kicking leaves.
Kicking leaves.
So I'm going to go ahead and say one more time. Because I remember writing this down a lot in my notes. Oh, another dead person joke. Oh, another morgue joke. Oh, another. And so that got old. Amy is full of shit, and she's leading him on because she thinks they're funny, and I don't want to hear her act like she doesn't. And she got ice cream on his shirt, which was stupid.
Oh my God, that was awful.
He's a creeper. Marvin's a peeping Tom. And I saw a bunch of reviews where they were like, oh, he's charismatic as usual. Like, on what planet? Like, I guess if like you also think that what's his face from Silence of the Lambs? What's his name? Not Hannibal.
Lecter?
No.
Buffalo Bill?
Yeah, if you think Buffalo Bill's charismatic, then yeah, I guess. But like, and I will say, I thought the killer looked like the killer in Slumber Party Massacre. Did you think that they looked alike in the face?
Kinda. I can see that.
But I did think he was very menacing, and I thought that, especially for having a movie without someone with a mask, where they're like stalking someone, because sometimes, for me at least, I don't know if that's why I don't like Slumber Party Massacre 1 as much, because it's just like, it's that guy, we know it's that guy, it's whatever. For being a movie like that, he really was creepy. Like they did a good job casting him.
Yeah.
But God, it falls short in so many ways. It's just such a chore to sit through. Well,
again, while you did bring up Silence of the Lambs, And not that I'm making any sort of a comparison between these two movies, but if I were going to choose to watch this movie maybe ever again, or just watch
Buffalo
Precious.
Bill.
No, just watch Precious, the little Bichon, run up to the pit, to the hole.
Oh, I thought you meant Precious the movie.
No, Precious the dog. Buffalo Bill's dog. I would choose her 5 seconds of leaning over the hole on repeat for the rest of my life than
me
to ever
too.
watch this again.
Well, okay. I think I would. I mean, not for the rest of my life. I probably, if like I had to watch it one more time again, I would watch it again. Like, it's not like someone's like I don't know. It's not waterboarding, although it's close. But I mean, like, it's just first straight shocker. Okay. Why? And also a tour de force. They called it a tour de force.
That's an insult to every other tour de force in the world.
And usually movies don't put tour de force if it's actually a tour de force on the back of the box.
That's valid.
And also, did I say this word right? Because I realized when I was reading it, I was like, unerring, with an unerring instinct. Or yeah, it has to be unerring. Unerring.
It's unerring.
Oh.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's unerring. Like
well,
unerring.
it would. I know it comes from the word error, but
it means always right or accurate.
Well, let's see. Well, I don't know. Whatever. Y'all can fuck off if you know how to pronounce it. I don't really.
I just go to Google and I search for the word and I hit the little speech button next to it.
Well, do it right now.
Well, I have headphones on. It's unerring.
Oh yeah.
Unerring.
Unerring.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes when I read the back of these boxes and I realize I haven't like read it all, when you like read something and it's different than like how you would just say it out loud. Like,
yeah,
when you see that the word kernel is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Albeit is another one.
Well,
anyway.
If I was reading this word, I might say onion ring.
Yeah, filmed with an onion ring instinct for the truly terrifying.
Hey, it made me cry.
You said it meant like, what does it mean again?
Always right or accurate.
So it basically says filmed with a always accurate instinct for the truly terrifying. I beg to differ, sir.
I mean,
get real. And Vinnie Canali, why that's the song. That's one of the only good things about this movie, and you couldn't even put it out.
Okay, so we can blow through these deaths real quick.
Wait, one more thing is I wanted to point out some of the some of the complete ripoffs of Halloween. So the killer, obviously, because like scenes where it shows him, like in the, I don't know if there are clotheslines. I don't think there are clotheslines there, but in my mind there were because of Halloween. And so the detective's Dr. Loomis. She has 2 girlfriends. And then underneath there, I wrote, yeah, it's basically a Halloween ripoff, which makes sense as to why I was underwhelmed. Sitting through this movie felt like a chore. I must have fond memories of it because of the song in the movie. That was like the last thing I wrote in like huge letters because I was so upset with it. Anyway, okay, deaths.
All right. I mean, you may or may not count this, but Russell Todd's death.
Oh, I do count it. And does the girl, I think she's like, you were led to believe the girl in the movie dies, right?
I think she starts screaming and then they zoom out and it's like she's screaming at the same time as the other girl. Yeah. So it zooms out and we're taken into the real life. So Marie then, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and she gets stabbed to the back of the movie chair.
You mean Meemaw face?
Meemaw face. After her super ominous scene in the bathroom. Then Joanna, which I nicknamed Flashback Bride, was stabbed with the switchblade.
Yes.
Ralph was strangled and then repeatedly stabbed with scissors. Poor man.
I didn't know his name. And also nice that he kept that piece of fabric in his hand so the detective could figure it out.
Well, so yeah, the fabric and being killed by the scissors. He literally lived and died for his job. He was a sweet old little man.
And he didn't like his job. Because remember, he wanted his wife to come back so he didn't have to do it.
Exactly. Like, he's the true hero of this. Sorry, Marvin, but Ralph's the MVP.
Ralphs are always in these movies. Tall and Goodnight, Crazy Ralph.
Friday 13th.
That's what Crazy Ralph.
Then we get, I don't remember if we see Joyce killed on screen or off screen, but we do come back.
No, we do not.
Okay,
The professor finds her.
Yeah, so Carl comes back. Professor Carl comes back just before a little Roland Zahay, and then he just gets stabbed.
Okay, by the way, can I just talk about what a fucking annoying scene that was and how long it went on? Oh my God, get to the fucking point. You're not fucking 15.
Oh my God, they were getting I'm sorry. He's like in his 40s and she's in her 20s probably. There is no way they're going to be just around for like 20 minutes. Like, just stick it in and be done with this, and let's go.
I know it went on for that was almost actually that might have I did skip through some of that. That was
you have to fast forward
as the chase at the end.
Yeah, people could have sex like 7 times over before that scene was ever over.
Oh my God! And they're like, we're playing hide and seek. I'm like, in what Candyland do you live in?
The Swamp of Sadness, not Swamp of Sadness. What's it called? The chocolate, whatever. I haven't played that game.
About Willy Wonka? Oh no! Oh, you're talking about Candyland.
The actual Candyland.
I cheated at that game, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Then Nancy, we talked about smoking that joint, getting her throat cut.
Great death. Great death, except for the aftermath.
Except for the freaking decapitated head. Awful. And then right during the longest chase scene ever, the longest ending ever, to the longest movie ever, which is only 94 minutes, the detective gets running through the tunnels. Again, great shots, but he just gets like stabbed in the chest. Boom! Like, what a unfulfilling ending to this Dr. Loomis facade. Like, what a waste! What a waste of my life.
It was such a waste. And you know what? I kept on writing. Oh, another tedious detective scene. Another tedious detective scene. So we got all these tedious detective scenes for nothing.
For nothing. And then the final death, which is actually a reason that I think I gave this either 1.5 to 2. I liked the ending of this.
Oh God, you did? I thought it was so stupid.
I thought it was pretty cool in the fact that Amy. Okay. To dear listeners, Amy does leave Phil, and now we are sitting in the exact same room as the flashback from the beginning.
Yeah, because somehow they're getting married at the same place in the same house or something.
And she is definitely marrying Marvin now and not Phil. And then when she turns around, she's basically like, "Phil, what are you doing?" And then it freeze frames, and so now Phil has become the Ray and.
Which makes no fucking sense.
Well, he just, again, take a chill lozenge and move on with your life. Find a hobby, get a dog, move on. I
just thought it was such a cop-out. I hated the ending. I thought it was a cop-out ending. I just thought it was like, who cares? Like, so Phil, who cared so much about her in the first place that he went on a bachelor's retreat with some Boy Scouts and picked up girls and beer on the way, that he cares so much that he's going to murder her.
Well, the ending was just another example of this movie's unnerving tour de force.
Oh, yeah. Because it says at the end, capped by a breathless chase and a truly shocking last-minute surprise. Okay, breathless because I didn't want to breathe anymore. I wanted to die. Prepare for the unexpected. I didn't expect this to be as bad as it was. So, cool.
All right, well, I think we've said everything, so...
Well, no, we haven't.
Yeah, I think we have.
We haven't.
What else do you have?
I've got to talk about the fun facts.
Oh my God, the fun facts.
And
there's fun facts.
I mean, whatever you think. And I have to read a comment that was on IMDb because it's hilarious.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay. I like how what do you think I was going to talk about? Like QAnon or something?
Bye. Fun facts.
Why are you so upset about that?
Fun facts.
They'll kill you, Let's see. I didn't know where they were. I was just looking at a blank computer screen. No fun facts. See ya. Okay, so it was the first, first movie of Tom Hanks and Dana Barron, who I think that she played. Oh, she played the younger sister.
Diana.
Yeah, and she was in Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So
and 90210.
Yeah, but probably only in like one episode. She was probably. Do you want to bet she's a bad girl?
They always are.
Yeah. Okay, so also, the shooting of the film was done in 15 days, and the entire production process was done in 4 months. And I'm going to give them cred again for the production value. I know that some people were like, no, I thought it looked good, especially for 1980. And I thought the camera angles were good. I liked that.
Yeah.
That's like one of the only good parts about it. It says director Armand Mastriani said the horror fans frequently confuse the film When a Stranger Calls.
No.
Okay. Because of their similarly threatening titles. Okay, well, I guess you could just, they could watch the movies and then know they're not the same. So, according to Scarp Parker, Tom Rolfing, who was the killer, was cast because he had the director really liked the intense look in his eyes. And I know that he died pretty early on in his life, and I think that he died of AIDS, unfortunately, in 1990. So that's sad. But, there you go. The producers, they cameo as the angry drivers that shout at Detective Gamble during the chase scene. Oh, that was another thing that I thought was hilarious when he's like, "Where's the morgue? Isn't this the town that you're a police officer in and you don't know where the morgue is?" Like,
right.
what?
One of the few places you should know is where the morgue is.
Yeah, and I was like, well, maybe he was called in. This is my mind, like just me trying to make sense of it. I was like, maybe he was called in and this is like not like maybe a different part of his county, but like a different city and like not his jurisdiction. But then I was like, I don't know why I'm trying to think about it that much.
Yeah.
So let's see, they also had different working titles: Blood Wedding, Shriek, and The Uninvited, but they didn't test well.
Avi.
Yeah, and also I don't know, definitely shouldn't be called Blood Wedding since it's not really about killing brides to be, except for 2.
And there's no wedding. Ever.
I mean that's the biggest. That's one of the that's a bigger plot hole than in The Last Slumber Party.
I mean, that'd be the same thing if they'd called the movie Halloween Christmas. It doesn't make any sense.
And then this is a hilarious. This isn't actually hilarious. It's just weird because I'm like, what? This is a fun fact on IMDb. For years, it was believed that Pat Benatar's hit song "Hell Is for Children" was featured in the film's soundtrack. The song, however, is never heard throughout the film, nor credited. Well, okay.
Well, she's missing out. She's missing out on those royalties.
Cool fun fact. But it wasn't in the movie. Like they're like, people think it is, but it's not. That's a fun fact. Okay. And the other thing is, I was reading, like, you know how they have those Wikipedia pages for movies, or like not actual Wikipedia,
but they're like horror wikis, and
it's like fandom
wikis. Yeah.
There was a list of kills on it, and I knew for a fact, this is another fun fact, that they had wanted to kill Tom Hanks's character originally in the script, but they ended up liking him so much that he doesn't die. And it was on the list of that of the fandom wikis, like kills off screen, and I was like, he doesn't, but he for sure does not die, because I've heard the director say it in an interview. I've heard Russell Todd say it in an interview, like that.
Right.
He was gonna die, and then they decided not to kill him. So I don't know why. I don't know who did that, but so it's the body count's 8 with an implied 9th. So and then I have one comment that I wanted to read because I think I'll just read the whole thing because it's so funny.
Okay, let's just hear it.
It's so funny. It's a long one, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
This guy does not like this movie. Okay.
Okay.
I shouldn't start off by carping on the atrocious cliches, because this was possibly the second slasher film, the first copycat of Halloween. So these awful slasher film characteristics have yet to be cliches. True. So I give him a little bit of credit. After I read that, I was like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. The thing is, this movie happens to be fairly original. The opening sequence, while very campy and just as poorly directed as the rest of the film, I don't agree with that, was a big surprise. However, these things make the film less credible somehow. If, while I'm taking into consideration that it's very possible the second slasher ever made, I still end up hating it tremendously. It still must be pretty bad. I hated the script. It's so funny. I hated the script more than I hated the usual slasher script. Despite the opening sequence, I think every single second while someone is speaking is horribly stupid.
Oh my God.
I think the main cop character is criminally written. What kind of hero cop shows up at the scene of a murder and says, "Why did you get me out of bed for this?" Even if the circumstances of the character later unraveled make it more plausible that he says that, which it doesn't. The movie is already on an irreversible downward spiral. There was one review here on IMDb that said this movie was well paced. Don't listen to this person. This is very easily the slowest slasher film I've ever seen. That's fine to have a slow-paced movie, but you cannot have a slow slasher movie. You can have a slow horror movie because a horror movie packs disturbing surprises and needs time to develop a creepy atmosphere. A slasher movie is the most basic kind of horror movie. A movie about stabbing people. So he's pissed off about that. I'm just going to go on down through it. What I said before about the cliches that aren't cliches yet, that is true. So, I mean, he did come to that. And then he says, yeah, I guess I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is really long. There are two good scenes in He Knows You're Alone. Neither of them being scary. One includes one of the girls hilariously teasing her professor, which I did not like that scene. I thought it was stupid. Ugh. And one with Tom Hanks' screen debut in a very small role. No, I didn't enjoy them. I knew they were good
scenes.
I knew they were good scenes, and I would have enjoyed them had they been in a different movie. Unfortunately, they were in He Knows You're Alone, and by the time they occur, I'm so bored and anxious for it to be over, I don't care anymore.
He is triggered and so ready.
And then I told you earlier, I was telling you the other guy, some guy was like, I don't know, I just sat down, it was like something I watched for an hour and a half, and then it was over, whatever.
I love it. That's the best.
So yeah, I give it one star. I give it less than I gave to All a Good Night.
That's saying something. That is saying something. Like, don't even think I recommend this one. So
I only give it 1, 2 for the production quality. If it hadn't been for the production quality, I'd probably give it a 0.5.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave on my final notes here. It's
But no. Let me give it an extra 0.5 for the ending song.
Okay, we'll give it for that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave you guys, and we're gonna stay gagged on wedding dresses. We're gonna stay gagged on bad decapitated head special effects. We're gonna stay gagged on leaves, and we're gonna stay gagged on Tom Hanks.
And walk around kicking leaves while you're gagged.
It'll make you feel good. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Haven't got the time to waste on crying somewhere in your love. If you try, isn't it enough that I love you more than ever? You're the only one who makes me feel. Isn't it enough that our love can last forever? When you're here with me, then it's real. It's the night again. We're all right again. All the soft, sweet dreams are coming true. It's the night again. We're all right again. Time is all we need, just me and you. Morning comes again, and I hate to have to leave you. Hard to wait for you through another day. Never enough time to show how much I need you. Come to me again, it's the only way. It's the night again. We're all right again. All the soft, sweet dreams are coming true. It's the night. true.